You won't believe what happened in this courtroom. Mr. Baker is facing up to 30 years in prison for serious charges: cocaine possession, fleeing the police, driving on a suspended license, and marijuana possession. But instead of hiring a lawyer, he insists on representing himself, using bizarre, sovereign citizen legal theories that have never worked in court. From the very start, chaos erupts. Mr. Baker interrupts the judge repeatedly, throwing out terms like eligible obligation and USCA, confusing everyone in the room. The judge warns him several times, but he refuses to cooperate, forcing the court to threaten removal. The judge tries to make sure he understands the seriousness of his choice, asking about his education, employment, and mental state. She emphasizes that attorneys are trained for legal battles and that representing yourself is extremely risky, especially with charges this serious. Things get even stranger when Mr. Baker tries to file his own motions and a bond for release, but he doesn't even follow the proper procedure or provide copies to the state. The judge dismisses his arguments, explaining that sovereign citizen defenses are consistently rejected in court. Ultimately, his disruptive behavior leaves the judge no choice. She appoints a public defender to represent him, ensuring that justice can move forward. This case is a stark reminder: relying on unproven legal theories could cost you decades behind bars. Mr. Baker's story shows exactly why courtroom rules and trained lawyers exist, and why trying to outsmart the system rarely works.
Have you hired an attorney?
No, sir.
Do you plan on hiring one?
No, sir.
Are you going to represent yourself, or do you wish
Yes,
to have
sir.
a public defender to represent you?
No, sir. I'm representing myself.
All right, you're before the court today for your arraignment. You've been charged by way of an information with possession of a cocaine, possession of a controlled substance, count 1 and 2. Those are both third-degree felonies, punishable to 5 years in the Florida Department of Corrections and a $5,000 fine. You have a count 3, which is fleeing or attempting to elude high-speed reckless. I believe that should be a second-degree felony, punishable to 15 years in the Florida Department of Corrections and a $10,000 fine. Count 4 is driving while license, cancel, suspend, or revoke third or subsequent offense. That's a third-degree felony, punishable to 5 years in the Florida Department of Corrections and a $5,000 fine. And count 5, possession of marijuana less than 20 grams, which is a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. So you're looking at a total of about 30 years in the Florida Department of Corrections if you're convicted of everything and you get the maximum sentence. And you're still wishing to represent yourself? Raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Baker, state your name.
Lee Baker.
And Mr. Baker, you have asked to represent yourself. Is that correct?
Yes.
How far did you get in school?
9th grade.
Okay. And so you can read and write?
Yes.
Okay. Are you employed?
No, sir.
All right. How do you make a living?
I'm unemployed right now. I was living with someone else.
Sir?
I'm unemployed. I was living with someone else. I just got out of jail about 5 months ago.
Okay. Well, what is your trade?
I have my own business,
All right. What kind of business?
a cleaning business.
Okay. And have you ever represented yourself before?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol today, which would affect your ability to make this decision to represent yourself?
No.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness that would affect your ability to to make this decision?
No.
All right. You understand that attorneys are trained in the rules of evidence, criminal procedure, and the law, and they're there to assist you in preparing pretrial motions, preparing for pretrial hearings, and to participate in discovery, and also preparing for trial.
I comprehend that very well.
All right, and sir, you understand that if you're representing yourself, you'll be held to that same standard.
I comprehend that.
All right, and I cannot assist you in any way. The state attorney would not be able to assist you in any way. Is that correct?
I comprehend.
All right, you still wish to represent yourself?
Yes.
All right, Madam Clerk, if you'll print out the information, and Deputy Dexter, it's okay if the clerk hands the information to Mr. Baker? All right, Madam Clerk, if you'll do that. Mr. Baker, when you receive that information, I'm going to ask that you enter a plea at this time.
I'd like to file 2 motions on the record as well, sir.
I want to do your arraignment first.
All right.
All right, whenever you're ready, you'll let me know and enter your plea.
I end up pleading not guilty.
Okay. All right, you're filing motions.
Yes, sir. I
You
got
have copies for the state.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I got a declaratory judgment, and I want to furnish this bond to the clerk
You file it. Go ahead.
for my release from the Bay County Jail today.
Okay.
Declaratory judgment, that's for the clerk only.
Now, you're providing a copy of the state, everything you've given the clerk.
The bond, I shouldn't have to give the bond. The bond goes straight to the clerk.
Anything you file that you want me to consider, you have to provide a copy to the state, sir. As you're representing yourself, you have to know those rules. If you don't, you're going to mess up.
That.
If you're not providing to the state, I'm not going to consider it.
Okay.
And the clerk doesn't make any determinations on that. All the clerk determines is whether you're indigent or not.
I'm not talking about the bond for the declaratory judgment. I'm talking about the bond for the clerk to release me today. I filed my eligible obligation.
What are you talking about?
Sir?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about eligible obligation on the USCA.
Oh, you talking all that kind of stuff. I'm striking all that. And if I hear it again, I'm not going to let you represent yourself. I promise you. He's already entered a not guilty plea. We'll set this for a pre-trial. We'll set it for don't ask me any questions like that, sir. I'm not answering any questions. If you want to file a motion, file your motion. We'll set it for our December. When's that motion day in December? December 19th at 9 o'clock. Sir, you may, if you're going to do the sovereign citizen and all that, you may want to consider having the attorney.
I'm a private citizen, sir. I'm not a sovereign citizen. I'm a private citizen.
Listen to me. If you're going to pursue that, you may want to reconsider representing yourself.
No, sir.
But I'm not going to pay attention to any of that, and I'm going to strike all that.
Okay.
So we'll see you December 19th at 9 o'clock.
It's no problem.
That's enough. I don't want to hear another word.
Okay, I'd like to also.
I don't want to hear another word. No, put him out.
Put your hands on me like that.
Hush. Get him out of the courtroom. I don't want to hear another word. I just heard another word, Mr. Baker. Hush. Whoa. Mr. Baker, I'm going to appoint the Office of Public Defender to represent you. I'm going to find that you're not competent to represent yourself at this time. I'm going to reverse my decision. The Office of Public Defender is going to represent him. We'll keep it on that December 19th date. I just did. Come on now. Y'all close that door where I can't hear him.
In a courtroom somewhere in the United States, a man named Mr. Baker faces a situation that could change the rest of his life forever. He is staring down the possibility of up to 30 years in prison. The charges against him are serious: possession of cocaine, fleeing from police, driving with a suspended license, and marijuana possession. For most people, the reality of being in a courtroom under such circumstances is overwhelming, terrifying even. And yet, Mr. Baker makes a choice that will shock anyone familiar with how the legal system works. He decides to represent himself. From the very start of the hearing, it becomes clear that this will not be a typical court session. Mr. Baker refuses to follow the normal procedures and begins using language and concepts that make little sense in a courtroom. He throws out phrases like eligible obligation and USCA, insisting that these ideas somehow give him a special legal status. The judge, maintaining calm but firm authority, tries to bring him back to reality, warning him that representing himself is a huge responsibility and that he must follow the rules of the court. Mr. Baker does not listen. He continues to interrupt, often speaking over the judge and even raising arguments that have no basis in law. He files what he calls motions and attempts to post a bond for his release, but he doesn't understand the procedural requirements. He doesn't provide copies to the state, and he fails to follow even the most basic steps needed to make these filings legally valid. It's clear that he is relying on ideas he learned from online sources, ideas that have been consistently rejected by courts across the nation. The judge, understanding the gravity of the situation, pauses the proceedings to question him about his education, employment, and mental state. She wants to ensure that he fully understands what it means to represent himself. This is not a casual decision. Representing oneself in court requires an understanding of legal procedures, evidence rules, and the potential consequences of every action. By insisting on self-representation, Mr. Baker is taking on a risk that could result in decades behind bars. As the hearing continues, Mr. Baker's reliance on so-called sovereign citizen theories becomes more apparent. He argues that his use of eligible obligation and references to the United States Code annotated somehow exempt him from the law. The judge patiently explains that these arguments are invalid and have never been accepted by any court. Courts consistently reject sovereign citizen defenses because they are based on misconceptions and misunderstandings of the law. No matter how confident someone might feel using these arguments, they carry no legal weight, especially when facing serious criminal charges. Despite repeated warnings and explanations, Mr. Baker refuses to cooperate. He interrupts the judge, argues with the court clerk, and fails to follow procedural rules. His behavior creates chaos in the courtroom, delaying proceedings and frustrating everyone involved. The judge, maintaining her composure, emphasizes the importance of following the rules and reminds him that attorneys exist for a reason. They are trained to navigate complex legal systems, to present arguments correctly, and to ensure their clients' rights are protected. The hearing reaches a critical point when it becomes clear that Mr. Baker cannot adequately represent himself. His understanding of the law is incomplete, his behavior is disruptive, and his chosen legal theories are invalid. The judge, in a firm but measured decision, appoints a public defender to represent him. This ensures that Mr. Baker will have a competent legal advocate to protect his rights, while also restoring order to the courtroom. This case is more than just an unusual courtroom story, it is a cautionary tale. It shows how dangerous it can be to rely on unproven legal theories when facing serious charges. It illustrates the complexity of the legal system and why trained professionals exist to guide defendants through it. Mr. Baker's insistence on self-representation and his reliance on sovereign citizen ideas could cost him decades in prison, and it serves as a warning to anyone tempted to believe that online legal theories can replace actual legal expertise. The courtroom drama also highlights the patience and authority of the judge. She remains calm, firm, and professional throughout the hearing, guiding the proceedings with a clear understanding of the law and a focus on justice. Her actions demonstrate how the legal system is designed to handle even the most difficult defendants while ensuring that everyone's rights are respected. Even as Mr. Baker argues, interrupts, and misinterprets legal concepts, the judge continues to explain the consequences of his actions. She emphasizes that the law is not flexible in the way he believes it to be. Legal procedures, filings, and evidence rules exist for a reason, They ensure fairness, protect society, and maintain order in a system where the stakes are extremely high. By the end of the hearing, the outcome is clear. Mr. Baker will no longer represent himself. A public defender will take over his case, ensuring that he has competent legal guidance. This decision protects not only his legal rights but also the integrity of the courtroom. It is a reminder that, while self-representation is a right, it is not always the best choice, especially when facing serious criminal consequences. This story, as unusual as it may seem, carries a lesson for anyone watching. It shows how easily people can be misled by persuasive but invalid legal theories, how risky it is to ignore professional advice, and how crucial it is to respect the courtroom process. Mr. Baker's choices could have lifelong consequences, and his case serves as a clear example of why the legal system cannot be bypassed with theories that have no grounding in law. In the end, the courtroom remains a place where rules matter, where knowledge matters, and where every decision can have serious consequences. Mr. Baker's story is a dramatic example of what happens when someone underestimates the complexity of the law and overestimates the power of unproven legal ideas. It is a story that teaches caution, respect for the system, and the importance of competent legal representation.